What is up, YouTube? Welcome back to another video. So it is currently 28 degrees out. It is absolutely freezing, but we need to go ahead and get what we need to do for this video done so that we can post it and make this car look a little bit better. So from the title of this video, you guys probably already know what we're doing. And as you may or may not know, G80s come with not the best fitment on their cars. The rears are fine. It's low enough where it looks decent, but the fronts are pretty high and there's a big wheel gap between the fender and the actual tire itself. Now, we can lower the car to make it look a lot better, but that doesn't fix the problem that the wheels are actually sunken in a decent amount with the stock wheels. So what we're gonna be doing today is actually bringing out the wheels just a tad bit, nothing crazy, so that it looks a little bit better than it does now until our coilovers or springs come in at a later time. And how we're going to be doing that today is by installing some spacers. So there's a number of different websites that have spacers for the G80. I got mine from CTS Turbo, as you guys can see, and just make sure when you guys are ordering them, they're hub centric without this little ring right here. You are gonna have some issues with wobbling once you install these. So just make sure that they're hub centric, and honestly, the size is completely up to you and the brand that you get is completely up to you. Now, if you're watching this, you're probably wondering which size should I get if I have a G80 for myself. Honestly, there is a few different opinions on what size to get to make the proper fitment. A lot of people recommend 12 mil spacers, which is the actual thickness of the spacer itself. I didn't go with 12. I was actually leaning towards 15 in the rear and then 12 in the front. Now, the reason I was trying to go with 15 in the rear is because I'm running stock ride height. I can afford to bring the wheel out just a tad bit more and I still won't have any rubbing issues. Now, if the car was lowered, I would probably stick with a 12 mil spacer, just because then at that point you might rub a little bit. And on the front, they recommend 12 mil. Some people even run 15 mil on stock ride height. It just kind of pokes just a tad bit. It looks very aggressive, it looks nice. So it's completely up to you and what your preference is for the car. I ended up going with a 15 mil spacer in the rear, and I believe the 12 mil spacer or 13 mil spacer for the front. So yeah, we got a 13 mil in the front, so it's a little bit bigger than the recommended 12 mil. Again, I'm only running this because I'm running stock ride height. I was gonna order some springs along with the spacers, but I ended up deciding that, hey, I'm just gonna run and save up for a KW Haas kit instead of BC Racing coilovers. So I'm gonna save up for the KW Haas kit, and then once I get that, I should still be okay with the 15 mil in the rear and 13 in the front. But right now, since I'm running stock ride height, I think this more aggressive setup will look a lot nicer. And as you can see, between the 13 mil and the 15 mil, it's the tiniest bit of difference. So even going from a 12 to a 13, I don't think should make too much of a difference. And this compared to a 12 is very, very minor. So it's gonna be forgiving, even if I did get a little bit more of an aggressive setup. And even if I was lowered, I think I'd be okay. Sure, you guys have seen countless videos of how to install spacers. It's really not that difficult. Anyone can do it and make your car look a little bit more aggressive. But one thing I will definitely recommend is, like I mentioned before, having that hub-centric ring around your spacer. You can always get a non-hub-centric spacer and it'd be probably a little bit cheaper, but definitely recommend getting the hub-centric one. Now, the other thing that you're definitely gonna need when installing a spacer is extended lugs. Now, the stock lug might be about this long. A lot of that space is gonna get used up by the actual spacer itself. So it won't have enough thread to go into the car and actually give you enough torque to hold the wheel down. So make sure you're getting an extended lug so that it has a little bit extra length to it. It can go through the spacer and still thread into the actual hub itself and not give you any issues on the road with lug coming off. And a little bit of a top view. So if you go right above, you cannot see the tire at all. We want to bring the face of the wheel out a little bit more and then go into the rear. Same thing here. Can't see the wheel at all. We want to bring it out a little bit. and should be sitting a lot more flush. Let's go ahead and get these all installed and we can see how it all looks. I think I'm gonna do the front first, show you guys how the front looks on this side, then do the rear on this side. That way we can properly see how it's different from both sides on the right and left. I honestly don't know why, but I genuinely despise taking wheels on and off, especially because you gotta do it so many times. And it doesn't help that my garage is an absolute mess. We got some 17 mil lugs here. Just gonna go ahead and take those off. And we should be able to pop this wheel right off. Okay. God, those brakes are huge. I don't know why I never noticed this before. Well, the good news is I got a lot of life in my brake pads left, but it is dirty down here. All right, let's go ahead and get this spacer on. Okay, so we got the 13 mil spacer here. I am gonna go ahead and put a little bit of this anti-seize on there, just so it doesn't get stuck to the actual hub itself. A little bit goes a long way. I usually skip the step, but the reason I'm even doing this is because I took off my brother's spacers off his M4 and they were just absolutely welded on. It took a hammer, a crowbar, and a bunch of other tools to get it off. So let's see. I think we got the right option right there. And now we should be able to just throw the wheel on and bolt it back up. No issues. Also, don't forget that you are going to need your extended lugs, so the stock ones can kind of go to the back of the shelf. I just put the stock one in there right after I told you guys not to use the stock ones. That didn't take long at all. Let's go ahead and drop it down and see how it looks. Honestly, I should have went with a 15 mil in the front. Not bad actually. From straight up, you can still see the top of the tire. I think the tire is a little bit turned this way, but see how it looked from the front. I think we're good. If I turn the wheel straight, I think it should be perfect with the top of the fender right there. Yeah, I think 13 mil might be perfect. I could have gone a little bit more aggressive, but this will do just fine for the time being. So the exact same process here, just make sure you don't do what I was about to do and put the 13 mil on the rears here as well. Otherwise you would have to take everything apart again and reinstall the other one. And look what I just found. I got a nail in the tire. This one was always sitting like 1 or 2 PSI lower than the other ones. And now I know why. What are the chances? That took a little bit longer than expected just because the tire is cold and didn't want to really accept the little rubber piece that you shove in there. But now we can throw this wheel back on and see how it looks. Oh, the 15 mil is perfect. That looks so much better. That's it from straight up on top, on the top view, and from the sides as well. It just looks so much more aggressive. I don't know if you guys can remember how it looked before. Actually, I can show you. Okay, so this is the spacer side right here. We did both the front and the rear. This is how it looks with the 13 in the front, 15 in the rear. I will say the 15 in the rear is the perfect amount. There is a tiny bit of poke, but it's nothing that's crazy or too over the top. And then this is the non-spacer side. So as you guys can tell, a lot less aggressive on this side and a lot better fitment on this side. So now that we got both sides done, we can clearly see that it made a big difference. Honestly, I think the 13 mil is perfect because you get this edge of the tire that comes right past the fender. Honestly, you could do with 12 too, but I think 13 is perfect because it's a little bit more aggressive. And then the rear, I am super happy with the rear. You can see how much tire pokes out from the front. It is a little bit more poke than I think most people would like, but in my opinion, it looks great. It's very aggressive. We might need to tone it down once we lower the car to maybe a 12 or a 13 back here as well. But for the time being, with the stock ride height, this should be just fine. Honestly, so far, I'm loving how this is looking. I'm gonna go see my cousin here in a few minutes. We're going to the gym. I'm gonna see if he even notices the difference with the spacers. He hasn't seen the car enough. I don't think he's going to notice, but I'm hoping he noticed that there's something more aggressive about the car, because especially the rears, like I mentioned, is a lot more aggressive. Like from this angle right here, you can see how perfectly the 15 mil spacer meets up with the top of the fender right there. For some reason, I'm still getting the tire pressure monitor check engine light, so we need to figure that out. But my cousin just pulled up. Let's see if he notices the difference on the car. Yo, do you notice a difference with the car?
It's tinted a little bit.
No.
No?
Stand back, take a look at it.
Oh shit, the back, I see it, spacers.
Yeah. So I guess you can tell. But I did it in the front too, but it's not as aggressive.
No, the front is more like, you see it when you step back. But the back, you can see from right here, I can just see it the way it's poking out.
Yeah, the backs look really good. Yeah. So I did 15s in the rear and then 12s in the front. But I think that's a perfect amount.
No, that's good. It looks good. It actually looks like it has a little bit of a camber now because
it looks a little more aggressive too now.
Yeah, it does. Looks
yeah, that, lowering it, and then the yellow DRLs, we're gonna be in great standing.
The car does look tinted though.
Overcast maybe? Yeah.
I'm gonna wash the truck after this, bro.
Yeah, the salt is bad.
Yeah.
But yeah, now we know, at least people will notice that the car looks a little more aggressive. So at least we didn't waste our money there. So just got back. I drove the car to the gym and back just to make sure I wasn't rubbing or there was any issues with the size of spacers that I got. For the front, I wasn't too worried because I just stuck with what was recommended, just a mil more. But for the rears, since I went with the larger setup, I just wasn't sure if I hit a bump or anything, if I was gonna rub or not. And didn't hit any major bumps, but also didn't rub at all. So I'm guessing I'll be fine as long as I'm running stock ride height. Now, if I do go lower, I will probably need to switch the 15 mils in the rear to 12s or 13 just to be safe. But for right now, with my current setup, I think I should be good to go. So I know I mentioned this earlier, but the brand that I got the spacers from are CTS Turbo, but I purchased them off ECS Tuning. The reason I did that was because I know all these other shops like I&D Motorsports, BMW brands like Keys, they all have the similar spacers, but they're all just a little bit more expensive. On average, I was seeing 130 to 140 bucks for a set of two, and ECS Tuning was holding the CTS Turbo spacers for only 69 or 70 bucks for a set. So I got 4 spacers for the price that I would get 2 at any other website. So if you're looking for a set of spacers for your G80, go to ECS Tuning and get a pair of the CTS Turbo spacers. They come with the lug, so you don't need to buy them separate. So yeah, all in all, for 70 bucks, that's a steal. That's probably the cheapest I paid for spacers in a very long time. And they're hub centric and everything. You can verify fitment on the website itself. So yeah, if anyone's looking to get some for themselves, ECS Tuning, CTS Turbo spacers, you should be chilling. And before we close out the video, this leads me to next week's video, which is going to be the yellow DRL. So as you can see, we got the white DRLs in right now. We're gonna switch them to the yellow ones. I know a lot of people run the yellow, and some people aren't really a fan of them, but I think they look great. So we're gonna have the yellow with the green and the orange, and I think it's gonna look really good, and it's gonna make the car look a little bit more aggressive. With that, I will catch you guys on the next one. Hope you guys liked this video, and hope it was helpful for you guys who are looking to get spacers for your G80 as well, or anyone wanting to run spacers. But with that, I appreciate you all watching, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.